Ising chitab Kalenjin atinye kamangunet neo ale ichamegei akimi komie en noitugul nenyoru ketesiet nebo Kass TV betut age nebo koangwan kasi nekituisoti eng yuton bo tetutiet nebo longetab kabatik. Kainenyu ko Caroline Kiplagat ako kou ye atkai tugul ko kitaunen kebeberta netai noton ko kikushini gong logoiywekab emet chekamuch kotestai kobun komoswek cheterter chebo emet ak kitaunen yuton bo taonitab Nairobi kekushini gong kaimutik chebo minister nebo kabatisiet Mithika Linturi ole kaisirto bunge nebo National Assembly motion inege nebo istoetab cabinet secretary nebo kabatisiet Mithika Linturi en ngalalet anan debate nekaborionji anan nekami barak mising en kuraisiek 187 che mogotin kosir motion kokabir kura MPs 149 kokochine kasubet motion noton nebo keisto Linturi ak MPs 36 kokaesio motion noton koikoitoi MP nebo Bumula Jack Wamboka tetat nguni kokonu membaek 11 chebo kamiti newendi kochikili lelutik choton kitokchini Linturi ole membaek chuton kobununen komosta nebo Kenya Kwanza, Azimio, kora komosta nebo Jubilee. Alage en yautik choton anan lelutik chekitokchini CS Linturi kokoboto boisiet neya nebo office ak missing mbolea choton chemoititotin chekinyoru kabatik chebo emoni.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I beg to move the following motion. That pursuant to the provisions of Article 152(6) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 64(1)(a) and 66, this House resolves that the President dismisses the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi from the office of the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development on the following grounds. He acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer, contrary to recommendations of the National Cereals and Produce Board, an agency in the ministry.
I find this motion as a decoy, a search decoy, to make sure that we hide those who are ultimately culpable by derailing the Committee for Agriculture from doing its work. And I want to encourage members of the Agriculture Committee to get to the bottom of this fertilizer issue, Honorable Speaker. Ensure that the inquiry pinpoints to us those who are ultimately culpable.
If we as a National Assembly cannot speak for them, who will speak for them? The President could have served us this and sacked the minister. But because he has not, we must stand up to be counted.
Somebody is basically sabotaging the very, very survival of this country. And the Cabinet Secretary cannot feign ignorance. Because if he feigns ignorance, then he is not fit to hold that office. Then he is unfit. Then he is incompetent.
The results of the vote are as follows. Ayes 149. Order, the noes 36. Abstentions 3. The threshold required to carry the vote is 117. So the vote is carried. The ayes have it. If a motion under Clause 6 is supported by at least 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly, the Assembly shall appoint a select committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter, and the select committee shall within 10 days report to the Assembly whether it finds the allegations against the Cabinet Secretary to be substantiated.
Keistenge kaimutik chebo CS Linturi ko kakitoror Lieutenant General Charles Muriu Kahariri koegu general akelewen koegu chief nebo Defense Forces nelel. Kalewen President William Ruto Kahariri koegu chief of Defense Forces kosubke ak meetab General Francis Ogola nekibet sabet kosubke ak nyasutetab helicopter en komosta nebo Kaben County nebo Elgeyo Marakwet. En kasaratan ko kaitoror kora President William Ruto Major General John Mugaravai Omenda koegu Lieutenant General akolewen koegu Vice Chair nebo Chief of Defense Forces ole agoi katororenyin kokiboisie Omende ko Kenya Air Force Commander. Kaisuldae kora President William Ruto katororetab afisaek cheterter eng ranks cheterter chebo askaritab luget chebo emoni. Keistoenge choton kikushini gong oleu bekab maranet eng emet en nguni akibendi county nebo Narok kole kakisoru kiprutoinik 40 eng mbugetab tiong'ik nebo Masai Mara en komosta nebo Talek ole kakiborionji ng'emisietab kambisiek cherue kiprutoinik en mbuget noton kosubkei ak ropta neo netesetai keborionjini eng emet. Kong'olonjini sirikab logoiwek komwa gavana nebo county nebo Narok Patrick Ole Ntutu eng lodge noton nebo Mara Sarova eng Masai Mara kole kaimuch serikali kotoretkei ak stakeholders cheterter kosoru kiprutoinik choton 40 en kambisiek chekamito en mbuget noton ole kang'em beek hotelisiek cheterter chemi en komosatan bo Talek.
Kokisor kiprutoinik cheite 40 en mbugetab tiong'ik nebo Masai Mara en komosta nebo Talek ole kakibaorionji ng'emisietab kambisiek cherue kiprutoinik en mbuganoton kosubkei ak ropta neo nekitestai kebaorionjin en emet. Kong'ololjin sirikab logoiwek gavana nebo county nebo Narok Patrick Ole Ntutu en lodge nebo Mara Sarova en Masai Mara komwa ine kole kaimuch serikali kotoretikei ak stakeholders cheterter kosor kiprutoinik 40 en kambisiek chemiten en mbuganoton ole kong'em beek hotelisiek cheterter chemiten en Mara komosta nebo Talek.
Hizi kambi zote ambazo ziko katika hii laini ya River Talek nyingi zimeweza kuharibiwa na maji. Tuliweza kuokoa wageni ambao walikuwa wako kwa hizi makams karibu 40 na wote wako sawa, hatujapata vivo yoyote. Ni kwamba county government na pia national government through the county commissioner's office na pia Red Cross tuliweza kusaidiana kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweza kusaidia wale ambao walikuwa huko.
Kusipke ak Ole Ntutu kokokisor kora biik cheite 88 en komosta nebo Musiro en sub-county nebo Narok East chemenye en oretab beek ole kakechengchi ichek ole menye en kasar kosipke ak nekabut beek korikwak en ole menye ak kola tuguk cheterter en keberatak.
Kuna boma karibu 80 ambayo tumeweza kuhamisha kupeleka pahali ambapo hawezi kupata shida kama hiyo ya maji.
Kacherine biikab emet koribkei akoistogei en ole imuchi kobitunen maranet ak ng'isyokenetab ng'wony. En logoiwekab emet chebo Kass kong'eten Mara Sarova Lodge nemiten en Masai Mara, kainenyun ko Nicholas Rono.
Kotakemit ak logoiwek chetinye kakitondab maranet eng emet kokaindochi eng betutab raini tuyet en kasarta nebo oeng eng wikini President William Ruto tuyetab cabinet nekatokchini kochigil oleu itondab beekab maranet ak ropta eng emet. Kaindochi tuyet noton Ruto ole kaituyo rubeiwondenyin Rigathi Gachagua ak kora cabinet secretaries eng State House Nairobi. Kakimwochi kandoindetab emet kole biik chekotestai koityi kaimutik chebo beekab maranet, ng'ashaknatetab ing'ony eng kwenutab kaimutik alak kotesetai konyoru toretosiek cheterter cheboto amitwogik ak tuguk alak chebo komonut. Kokaiyan tuyet noton kole ropta neo ak beekab maranet nekiborionjini en inguni eng emet kokosubkei ak waletab itondab emet kokayonjin cabinet kotestai ak kasuldaetab tetutik cheterter chewalunen ak kokirinda walutik chebo itonwekab emet. Eng tuyet nebo betab koeng kasi nebo wikini kokiyonjin cabinet komangda biik tugul chemenye komoswek chebo oretab beek ak logoiwek ko tesetai biik koistoengei komoswek choton. Kibendi county nebo Bomet ole bune rirek familia agenge nebunu kokwet nebo Kiptobit en county nebo Bomet kosubkei ak tilyeng'wany nekikobet en kasarta nekoi. Mwaat kele kibet John Kipkoros Bor en komosta nebo Mombasa kenyitab 2015 ole agoi raini kotomo kenyoru inen ole somet nebo familia noton ko chi agetugul netinye logoiwek kotiengei ak tilieng'wany komwochi ichek kou yorore sirindenyo Sylvester Rono.
Kenyisiek 10 chekakobata kotesetai familia agenge nebo kokwetab Kiptobit kotienge tilienywan nekibet.
Kitupche ak yon bor nekikobet en kenyisiek chechang kecheng inendet kikecheng kenyisiek chechang mising otom kenyoru. Kiwendi inendet ko kimakararan borto kwa ele kimi lagokchik en Mombasa alak ko kingoit yoton konam komoe kositen borto kimut kwa Makadara hospital ele kitebi inendet kinya inendet kwa koit ko kiya komyeit ko tun kityo ko nget kosindan in bili nekimiten nekimi sipitali.
Kingesich report kele makomi ele kimi lagokchik kinam kecheng kotko kimi kasarta nekikosirto bomore kele nan kinde radio tamanan kokas sikonyo. Kinginde radio komaimuch inendet konyo kotko mami ele tom kecheng kikebe anan keturen Nairobi kiketuren Mombasa ako tom kai kenyoru inendet.
Kibet boyot John Kipkoros Arabor en kenyit nebo 2015 en kasarta nekikakityakta en sipitalitab Coast General Hospital nemiten Mombasa ole kikakimut konyor konyoiset.
Mimi ndio nilimuita kutoka nyumbani nikampeleka katika hospitali ya Coast General. Nikawa nikikaa na yeye hapo hospitali kwa muda mfupi, akawa amepata nafuu, akawa sasa anaweza hata kutembea. Kwa muda huo kuna hiyo siku ilikuwa siku ya Jumanne nakumbuka, lakini tarehe ndo sikumbuki. Nilikuwa nimeenda kumfuatia chakula. Nilivyorudi nilipata Gavana Joho ameweza kurelease wale wagonjwa wanatakana kutolewa hospitali. Kuanzia muda huo ndo nimekuwa nikimtafuta baba kila mahali. Kwenye mamochari nikatangaza, kwenye Baraka FM, sijaweza kupata msaada wote paka muda huo.
Kongeten yoton kokakotestai familia noton kochenge inendet kobaten tomo konyor.
Ko ndakasanen ole mi kora bomuru konyo gaa kimokyinigei mising ak kikonyalilyo lagok kotebi mising.
Some ichek toretet en chi age tugul neimuch kokikoker kotoret ichek konyor tilienywan ole saenywan ko kenyor inendet kochomegei.
Ne kakikurse en betut nebo raini kesom toretet kele ngot komi ele mi kokosonobule en ele mi konyo gaa amun kokeseretye kabisa. Rirtos bomorisiek akotebe kole kiwono bomore ne kokoi koimutik makerue akobo inendet. Asa kasari nguni kikere akobo robwek koui kasit yon mami bikwok tugul gaa ko koimutiet neo mising. So nekisome toretet age tugul kot komi kotab chi ana komi ele yoen kasit en ele yoen ako kakas kotoretech akot chi age tugul neingen akobo chon kosiptewech kora komwoitewech inendet kole kiture en gaa ako kisome chi age tugul nekasip konyor inendet komi ak gift nekikoini ko family 0729 357 804.
Kongeten county nebo Bomet, logoiywekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Sylvester Rono.
Agetinye kamang'unet kele familia noton bo Kiptobit en county nebo Bomet ko mokonyoru tilieng'wany nemwoe kole kibet kong'eten kenyitab 2015 en komosta nebo Mombasa. Nguni ngebe county nebo Nandi ole moche alak en meng'ik chebo county noton contractor nekochi boisiet konde lamit oret neng'ete Kabongwa Junction en Cheptiret akoi komosta nebo Kapchemoiwo kowong'u konde lamit oranoton kou ole nyolunot ole mwoe ichek ole kichop oret noton mitaisiek cheng'ering kityo kiit nemoiyoni ichek. Kamwa kole chang biik cheboisie oranoton komandae rurutik koach ole tesetai koimoksei tetutik chebo loiset en ichek mising kasari tesetai koroboni ropta neo en emet. Ngenyorun sirindenyo Cornelius Keter ak report.
Sami Kibet ko mengindetab Kabongwa eng kot neng'ate ng'atutik nebo Imgwen nekarirtae contractor nekikikoch boisietab konde lamit oret neng'ete Kabongwa Junction akoi Kapchemoyo kobate maisuldae notok kole kamwa Peter Kemei kole nyolu kobois chepkondok tugul chekikitabonchi oranotok chetokyingei kinde lamit oranotok.
Ile kitarajini kechobwech oret komanda kong'etegei Chepterit ak Kapchemoyo. Leni kokistokan kikoit oret nusu 800 meters. Kito nekitebe kele mandai keyai oranan kobekyi yotok. Kemei kenai walutik kele kamane oret nakiyai ko nusu sikenyoru maelezo komie. Ak kenyoru benefit kora kakechobwech oret kibwon ak kikakeitu barabara haraka.
Amache asom CS Murkomen. Amache atebe Murkomen ng'alek oeng. Yu tesetai eriaishek alake chekimwabir kura kobirchi kura in serikali kokalya birikab kura chekakiyesho keyochi oret. Kokikonech contractor nemitei konyo kwa shedi work. Kakileche kiyai oret akoi Kapchemoyo. Kotonon oret. Oret korok ko shedi work. Tangeyai oret kounotok keyai oret nekararan. Amache asomin nyo oret nebo Kabongwa nyoiro lou. Shedi work tugul. Ako chepkondok che kokinde kochang.
Kamwa Kemei kole konyolu kinde lamit oranotok tugul kosubkei ak neboisie chang'indo biik komandae koboto komandae rurutikwak kole kamwa kole kokoimagis kabatik mising eng kasarta netesetai koroboni koboisie oranotok.
Benefit nekitinye korani sikesome kinde lamit akoi mwisho ko chang biik chekole ngwek, chang lorishekab chaik cheimong'u kikol biik chaik eng olinyonet. Kesome kele angot tomonoinik ko benefit nekitoretech orani komong'u tugun chechang chebo kirkacha. Asa ngiker nguno ketinye cooperative nemi Chepterit. Ako wakulima chechang koboe tuga. Wakulima chechang kotindoi ngwek. Wakulima chechang koboe ngokaik. Kesome kele taborok orani komanda akoi Kapchemoyo sikobit kotoret wakulima chechang. Kosir sikoruitos tugukab wakulima. Makibe chaik, makibe tuguk chekibwoti kele toretech mutai chepkondok. Otherwise makitinye kele kikikoito oret. Lakini chito nekikikochi kwa amune sikwa shedi work. Ako wakan neo kalya chichi kemut biik chemobo koroni la. Kalya ngwek kashek ab eunek makisir biikab koroni.
Kamwa Arap Kemei kole nyolu eng kibagengeitab kura kwai chikilisiet nebo ortinwek tugul chekikechob eng county nebo Nandi eng mwaet kole maityin magutik tugul chemokotin kit nekokoibchi koyakitu ortinwek chotok eng kasarta nenwach.
Kasit nekikiyai eng Nandi County kura ko shedi work tugul. Kimeche kesomin. Akosom CS kasisiek tugul chekiyai Subeda kochungusan konai kole kasisiek chotok ko shedi work. Asa oret nebo Kapkibimbir newendi akoi Tulon shedi work tugul. Kimeche kesom kele bo ng'o kampunit notok. Akosomin Murkomen eng kaming'unetabgei. Arap Ruto kele ngeyai kasi. Ko ministry neng'ung'et ko chang cartels. Ng'ololchi Director General. Kasisiek chekiyoe amakitendan ko kakitar tax chebo Kenya musima.
Kong'ete taunetab Kapsabet eng county nebo Nandi, logoiywekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Cornelius Keter.
Kibendi nguni county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet ole magat en familia chemeng'isie ole legite silangosiek anan dams ak kora legemoshek en county noton bo Elgeyo Marakwet koistoengei komoswek choton amu mi kamuget nebo kobutokis anan kobut beekab maranet silangosiek choton. Chuton ko kosubkei ak county commissioner nebo county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet John Korir nekamwa kole kokotogu kaborunoik kole imuch kobutokis silangosiek chechang en komosata ak nguno konyolu eng biik chemeng'isie eng ole legite komoswek choton kou kinyoru sirinenyo Andrew Kimeto ak report.
Kakokoito kateunet county commissioner nebo county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet John Korir koityi familia 1,500 chemeng'isie eng ole negite silangosiek anan dams chemite county noto koistogei eng chokchinet eng kebeberwek choto amu mitei kamuget neo nebo kobut beekab maranet silangosiek choto kosubkei ak ropta neo netesetai koroboni eng emet eng nguni. Kong'ololi yekangoyai chikilisietab silangosiek choto ak multi agency team chebo serikali kong'ong ofisayat noto bo serikali kole silangosiek choto mitei kamugetab kobut beekab maranet che choto koboto Yokot Dam, Emiat Dam ak Kapkesem Dam chemite eng kebeberta nebo Keyo South.
Mahali ambapo kuna shida kubwa, mahali ambapo kuna dams ni Keyo South na eneo la Keyo North. Tulianza upande wa Keyo North, tukaweza kutembelea Yokot Dam mahali ambapo maji yake yaliweza kupita juu hivi majuzi, na tukiangalia ikiwa mvua itaendelea zaidi, kuna uwezekano kwamba hiyo dam inaweza kuporomoka, na hatari ni kwamba kuna watu ambao wanakaa chini yake kuanzia Kesup kwenda mpaka upande wa Vale, na tunaona kama watu kama 1500 wanaweza kuwa katika hatari ya kuweza kusomwa na maji. Lakini tumeweza kuwa na mazungumzo na wao, ngao chiefs mashinani pia wamejaribu kuzungumza nao, ikiwezekana waweze kwenda mahali ambapo hawatafikiwa ikiwa maji yatapasua hiyo damu.
Kosubkei ak noto kokobor kayweisiet meng'ik chemite kebeberwechoto akosom serikali kotoret icheket eng chokchinet.
Hii damu ilipomoka 1961 ikakaa mpaka 2006 ndio tukafanya rehabilitation, alafu kidogo tenda haikupeanwa kwa njia ambayo ilistahili kupeanwa, kwa sababu ilipeanwa mwenye alipewa tenda akapeana subtendant, ndio sababu wakajenga substandard ikapomoka 2006, na sasa kuna matumaini saa hii kupomoka ya 3, na tungesi serikali kama kuna pesa za disaster ije itusaidia, sababu kuna mahali imepomoka.
Maji imebeba mataraja yote kuanzia Kitela, Kondabilet, yote mpaka Yogot, lakini mahali tunategemea ni hapa mahali pamoja. Serikali mtusaidie kutuundia taraja, alafu tuende shule. Kwenda shule Kamesa ni shida kwa watoto. Tunaenda shule Kamesa, hatuna njia ya kupitia. Tunaomba serikali utusaidie turudi shule.
Kasom korir kora biik chemeng'ishe eng lagamoshek ole imuch kobitune ng'ishekanoshiekab ng'wony koistogei eng chokchinet akouchi kebeberwek chemite barak asikekirinda nyasutikab ng'ishekanoshiekab ng'wony.
Mvua ikiendelea kunyesha, kuna uwezekano ya kuporomoka kwa ardhi, ile kitu inaitwa landslides ama mudslides. Viongozi wetu pia tumeweza kuzungumza pamoja, tumeweza kuzungumza kwa sauti moja kwamba hizo sehemu za maeneo ya Hanging Valley watu waweze kuwa na tahadhari kubwa sana. Hasa ile kitu inasababisha ni kuweza kuweka kilimo yenye haistahili. Kama siku zijazo ikiwa itawezekana iwekwe kama mahali ambapo watu wanaweza kupanda miti, watu wanaweza kupanda crops pia kama coffee, vile tulivyoweza kuzingatia wakati ule na tukapata msaada ya miche ya kofi kuweza kupanda katika eneo hizo.
Kongete county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet, logoiywekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Andrew Kimeto.
Sitab Kwalenzi report notobo sirindenyo Andrew Kimeto kongete county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet kokonech boroindo nebo keib kamung'et kitigin eng yuton bo Kass TV tetutiet nebo longetab kobatik. Matinakte amota komi logoiwek alak chebo emet ak kora chebo ureriosiek chekibendi kekushini gong eng tai.
Mwezi huu wa Mei, changamka na StarTimes. Tunaleta joto na channels mpya na shows mpya kwa ajili yako. Chagua bouquet yako na uwe connected. Enjoy magic na adventure zaidi kwenye Kili Channel.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Ni sherehe zaidi kwa wapenzi wa spoti, wrestling, basketball na football.
A goal to send a message.
Lipia subscription yako uwe connected. Guswa hisia na drama na telenovela freshi, movie kali, documentaries, mziki na lifestyle channel. Changamka na StarTimes.
Let's get ready to
download StarTimes on app kwa burudani kemkem wakati wowote popote ulipo. StarTimes, furahia maisha kidijitali.
Nyorun ketesiet nebo Kass FM International ak igerchigei kibindishek che kororonen mising betushek tugul saishek 24 kobun oretab muswoknotetab kasari anan online app. Inyoru kora boroindo nebo inyorchigei logoiwekab emet ku kit neu koboto programs cheterter chebo radio ak television nebo Kass TV. Nam simeng'ung en nguni ak i-downloaden Kass FM International app in Play Store.
Kitesetai ak logoiywekab emet eng yuton bo Kass TV tetutiet nebo longetab kabatik. Kaindochi sirindet neo nebo kibagengeit nebo Kenya Red Cross Dr. Idris Ahmed ak nebo kecheret eng Safaricom Foundation Joe Ogutu tetutiet nebo roptaetab amitwogik ak tuguk alak chebo kamanut eng biikab emet kotestai koityi koimutik chebo beekab maranet. Kaindochi afisaek choton tetutiet noton nebo roptaetab amitwogik eng komoswek cheterter chebo county nebo Nairobi koboto komoswek choton chebo Kibera, Viwandani, Babadogo ak Landmawe.
Joe Ogutu, Chairman Safaricom Foundation. Today we are here together with Kenya Red Cross in response to the humanitarian challenge that has come, particularly to the people of Kibra. We are here to support in terms of offering them food, offering them blankets, and so on.
As we are aware, over 170,000 people are displaced around the country. People are in great humanitarian need, in need of basic supplies and basic assistance, including access to food and water.
Ngebe County nebo Baringo ole katestai kokimit konetik chebo JSS en county noton nebo Baringo kole mawekchinige ichek boisiet agoi kokosi serikali ak kibagengeit nesire konetik boisiet TSC rirek ak magutik kwach mising ko noton nebo keser ichek en boisiet nebo permanent ak pensionable. Mwae konetik choton kole wikit nemiten tai yekiyat sukul ko mawekchinige ichek boisiet agoi kokosi serikali kwak ngekingong kasarta anan logoiwek choton ngeten county nebo Baringo kasarta nekayai konetik choton chebo JSS Kambaget.
Kanyalilet nikinyalile konetikab JSS komakararan ako koit mwisho amu eng wiki nekebendi kokoilenji konetik koba sukul anan kotebe gaa lakini mami boisio neyoe. Konto mami boisio neyoe koba koneti lagokwak. Neno kimwoe kele kimache biikab Baringo tugul sigik ak viongozi konamgei kibagenge asikobit konai serikali kole nyoljin keluban robishek moguls kouye yenyoljin.
Komwa kole serikali nebo Kenya kutusirana by tax. This government is not serious. How can you pay me 17,000? Yani 17,000. Monyongbo kile nini bei ya mbuzi moja and you wait for that days to pay me such amount of money. That is an insult to my intelligence. How can I raise a generation of 17,000? The government is run by tax from top to the bottom. We are not serious. We are not here to gamble our lives with. And by the way, CBC will collapse. At the end of the day, we are not going to do anything. We shall just be busybodies in school and just sit and enjoy. At the end of the day, we shall live there. Thank you.
Akan jengitin akengalanen akelenji serikali kasi yenyu ni nini. We want our teachers kimeche ke confirmen ameche koreke kaskia uitwa sasi ako viongozi any function o meeting angalane ngale JSS ke confirmen amu kungetkerani kagenyaje Baringo ane achit executive secretary Nyomboye ako konetik tugul chebo Baringo chebo JSS momi chini netisei ye kakalas makebe sukul kebentaje kitapsoti akeomisye aketebi kityo aketoben loguk akoi kutoben serikali kimakata kongoi.
Ngegushingo kabatisiet nebo chaik en county nebo Nandi ole tesetai konyorunen kelchin kabatikab chaik en county noton chekituyege kwal kampunitab chaik nebo Sirit en county nebo Nandi kosubkei ak netesetai konyoru ichek kelchinoik chemi barak cheboto nekomuch kotech kampunit nebo Kamarich nekingoen chaik ko oret noton nebo agenge anan ko noton ko oret agenge nebo konyoru ichek kimnotet nebo kwalda chaik en oliet nebo barak. Kabit nito eng kasarta nekarutochi kampunit noton kabatikab chai kobun Baraton cheibe chai kwa koba kampunit noton nebo Siret Outgrowers Empowerment and Producer Company asikobit koger ichek oleu tetutik cheterter chetesetai kosuldaen kampunit noton. Kenyoru serindenyon Nelson Tarbi ak reports kong'eten Nandi Hills.
Kosubkei ak Julius Keboi nene ko agenge eng directors chebo kampunit noto bo chaik nebo Siret ko kabaibachi ine rutoto nekayai kabatikab chai kobun komosta nebo Baraton. Korutochi kampunit noto asikobit koro tetutik cheterter chebo boisionik chekikwai kampunit noto bo Siret.
Asikobit kobwa factory nebo Kamarich ne notok kotindoi shares inyokoker boisiet netesetai eng factory nywa ak oleu boisiet netesetai eng factory asikobit konai kole chepkondok kwak kokiba eng oret nekararan amu kikobit factory. So agere ko kelchin mising amu eng wakulima chebunu Baraton che nekit 380 ko kikomuch kwal shares eng factory tab Kamarich.
Kacher ine membaekab kampunit noto kotestai kwal shares chebo kampunit noto eng mwaet kole konorwet nito eng betusiek chemite tai ole chang kelchinoik kenyoru shareholders.
Ko mutai kotesetai factory anan ko kit age tugul ko faida nekamangune factory ko koityin mkulima in form of dividends. Kole kikertoi nguno wakulima chekial Siret ko wakati nikimite nguno ni konyoru dividends. Ko akot ngache nguno Kamarich kole kakomwaita chairman kowendi sikenyoru ngalekab dividends. Ko kelchin no mising eng wakulima ngachangan eng betusiek chemi tai chemakomuchi mkulima ko kakoet chito koeku yotok yetoretegei mkulima age tugul.
Kabit nito eng kasarta netestai kampunit noto kosule tesetab tai nebo boisionik cheterter. Ole eng kasari ko kikosuldae aletab kampunitab chaik nebo Siret nesire ekaisiek 1000 koboto teksetab kampunit neking'oe chaik nebo Kamarich, aletab imbaret nebo chaik nebo Kababi, teksetab kot nebo mung'aret eng taonitab Nandi Hills, aletab imbarenik cheterter eng taonitab Eldoret eng kwenutab tetutik alak cheterter.
Tagunot ko kampunit agenge netelelot nguno eng Nandi. Mami kampunit sai nekikoum wakulima akotelelchi akoum chepkondokab wakulima akorib keboisie eng oret nekararan kosubkei ak properties chekakokas komwain chairman koboru kole tindoi telelchinet nekararan mising kampunitab SOEP akamwachini rani wakulima chebunu komostab Baraton alechini nyolu keungangei tugul.
Kounoto koyomis ine kabatik kole testai ichek ko kandoikab kampunit noto kokere kole atestai kokanapta ichek kampunit noto.
Asikobit kebe tugul kibagenge eng boisiet netokchingei ng'alekab chaik, ng'alekab tuga ak ng'alekab mitei kawek orit ak ng'alekab avocado. So konyolu anyun iku kelchin mising.
Kong'etege Nandi Hills eng county nebo Nandi, logoiywekab emet chebo Kass. Kainenyu ko Nelson Tarbei.
Ngekushingong kiwanjosiek kakitounen kabelisiosiek chebo urerietab volleyball komostab kwonyik chebo Africa chetesetai eng emet nebo Misri. Ole tesetai timisiek chebo emoni kochenge title noton nebo Africa ko timit nebo KCB ak timit nebo Kenya Pipeline kokachut semis chebo kabelisiosiek chuton chetesetai eng emet nebo Misri.
Tesetai koyai komie timisiekab volleyball chebo kwonyik chebo emetab Kenya eng kabelisiet nebo African Championship netesetai eng emetab Egypt ole kochut eng betutab mut eng kebeberta nebo semi-finals. Kober timitab Kenya Pipeline timit nebo Lito Volleyball Team kobun emetab Cameroon eng setisiek 3 eng buch eng kebeberta nebo quarter finals koterter timitab KCB timit nebo Kenya Prisons eng setisiek 3 eng buch eng quarter finals. tetate kotuyo eng semi-finals timitab Kenya Pipeline ak timit nebo Al Ahly kobun emetab Egypt kotomo koureren timitab KCB ak timitab volleyball nebo Zamalek kobunu emetab Egypt. Evans Rotich, Kass TV, urerioshek.
Kiurereni weekendini kabelisiosiek chebo semi-finals chebo kabelisiet noton nebo FKF Cup komosta nebo kwonyik ole tuisot eng kiwanjet noton nebo Dandora. Timitab kwonyik nebo Ulinzi Starlets ak timit noton nebo Kenya Police Bullets kotomo koureren Zitex Sparks ak timit noton nebo Kibera Soccer Ladies.
Tumejipanga vizuri, preparation yetu hata unaona wasichana wanajua hii ndio ile kitu ambao sisi wenyewe tumebakisha. Manake ligi pale imekuwa ni msimu ambao sio rahisi, but najua tunaenda kubakia.
This is our first semi-final so far as Zitex Sparks, and we want to produce the best of us in it. The mood in the camp is too high. My players are highly motivated for the fixture ahead of us.
Okay, moods for so far imekuwa poa. Training despite ya rain, tunang'ang'ana kutenayo at least kujiprepare kwa hiyo semi-final, na tunajua itakuwa tough, so try kuprepare tu well. Tukiangalia tunacheza Zitex mara mbili tena, tunacheza cup after cup, tunacheza Zitex tena league. Target yetu vile tulisema ilikuwa kucheza finali, which tuliweza kushinda Bungoma tukakuja semi-final, so itakuwa ni tough, itakuwa ni rahisi, so tuna try our best tuweze kushinda, at least tuweze kuproceed to the next level. Hiyo ni finali.
Kitukchini yoto chitab Kalenjin logoiywekab emet ak chebo ureriosiek chekaitu kong'eten studio nebo Kass TV tetutiet nebo longetab kabatik. Kainenyu ko Caroline Kiplagat.
Nyorun ketesiet nebo Kass FM International ak igerchigei kibindishek che kororonen mising betushek tugul saishek 24 kobun oretab musoknotetab kasari anan online app. Inyoru kora boroindo nebo inyorchigei logoiywekab emet ku kit neu koboto programs cheterter chebo radio ak television nebo Kass TV. Nam simeng'ung en nguni ak i-downloaden Kass FM International app in Play Store.
Kila komut kasi kong'eten sait aeng nebo kemboi tetutiet ko #nenetesetai.
My fans, this Friday amache boto wale akimiten ak Jacqueline na Hussein.
En komut kasi tetutietab #nenetesetai.
Show nebo nenetesetai.
Tetutietab longetab kabatik eng Kass TV koitun kila kemboutab betutab ko4 kasi kong'eten sait agenge nebo kemboi. Kikushini kong tuguk cheterter chetinyin inye kabatindet kong'eten ortinwekab kasari chebo kabatisiet agoi siret nebo tugukuk chebo mbar. Ngichi kabatindetab tuga, ngokenik, tugukab mbar ko eng tetutietab longetab kabatik ko kitieme mising kekushin gong tuguk cheimin inye kabatindet ole king'olonjini ng'omutik cheterter.
This beekeeping does not require a lot of water. There's no tilling of the land. We just need the natural vegetation.
Lazima koyai some sort of records.
Yes.
Mkulima ile koiboten mbare siling ata labda mbolea chekoiboisien go siling chekile.
Records ko kiit nebo kamanut mising mkulima ako imeche keimisan nito mising amu en nguno kabatisiet nemi ko nekitokyingei makibotisie kityo amu siyam akobek kunoto meche keyai kabatisiet neboto mung'ara.
We know the value of engaging everybody, right from the farmer to the exporter.
Tabanak noton ko kikuchini gong ripsetab itonwekab emet kobun kolsetab ketik, ripsetab beek ak ng'ung'unyek.
biik chechang komengen kole climate change ko ne. Ako ngimwa biik ang chepyosok mising makingen.
Reuse the plastic and recycle the plastic. So we are in the end where we recycle.
Chuton tugul ko eng tetutyetab longetab kabatik. Aibuna ne Caroline Kiplagat.
Kemiten kebeberta nebo Bomet kobaten ma Bomet inne kele ko Bomet kabaten kakimanda kidogo raini kelande akebe kechutosnetab Mau.
Nito ko tetutiet nebo betutab raini ko kabarastaet nebo agenge en agenge neitun kong'ete taunit nebo Iten en county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet.
Kokimi headmaster nekikonyo yoton. Kikamut baba konyo kalanchi kor kotebenan kole mewe sukul alabat amwe kimamoche ale moseite amun kiborane komakiseita ko kit nebo biik cheosen.
County nebo Nandi ko kiokochini kanetisiet mongen ale towoe kuno tos kiotestai ako tos lene chemung'arainik.
Chamke chitab kalenjin nenu tugul ikere ketesinoton nebo Kass TV atinye kamang'unet ale baibai keng'eten oret nekararan kibwone agenge en agenge kong'eten county nebo Kericho.
Ng'emetab kalyet chemiten en komoswek chebo North Rift missing en kiwoto nebo Baringo County, West Pokot, Laikipia, Samburu, Turkana koboto alak komoswek chebo North Rift chotesa koityi koimutik chebo ripsetab kalyet.
Eng betutab raini eng tetutiet nebo Kass betut raini amache kekoshi kong'et tetutietab kabatisiet eng county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet.
Ole kibendi kenyoru ng'alaletab agenge ak MCA noto bo waditab Chepkunyuk en county nebo Nandi.
Amatirustegei kora akot ndetinye kewelinwek mang'un amun sait age tugul koyotoksei koret.
Same time Kilifi. The function about today ko I'm muted on behalf of the sister company nebo Ramada ke draining cassava. This cassava we are starting up in Busia ak Kilifi as a pilot project nigma genam ke producing ethanol, starch ak flour. This ko ethanol ak starch ko chebo export ko flour ko chebo local consumption. Now in this project we're waiting for the financials seeking the labs where we can do multiplication of seeds in support of the farmers and support of the community so co producing large consignment chebo cassava. Kapati kemi tafale amwani cassava ko it is best in only arid area. Kibare gure na check soin. Niwe ku soin iwe Kipkelion iwe side nebo Londian inyon Baringo agiwe part of North Rift aya iwe Aldai. Those are areas che cassava ko making well. So we are encouraging you to make because kosame as ke perchinige Ramada en Kilifi ak Busia ko ke saruga gora. Amon amande the lab nebo seed multiplication see ke version and part of different seeds che producing in the whole of Kericho ak other Rift Valley regions. Cham golem bichu ye gongon ke gurin mami gin ke gonen boch ko mesor kemi that se gone chance in any organization ko yonge cham golem bichu na jituma so challenge ne gitinye as youth ke gonye ke fidenech mami betu ne ke lianan ne ke barchini ke chenge opportunities because in the industry now and then also it ne gitinye eche pick up kotit ko kikiberure chak mbaret lakini kibwone kesome kasishek because ne tom kekere opportunity nemi ng'ung'unyat so kinocheni the youth ongeweken aswekenam enga because ane ko kya employ lakini kaya resign from employment akawe ngalekab kabatishet nguni ateme cassava akoteme kawe. So in that journey, I was in Mombasa. So I resigned from Mombasa, akowe nebo temishe ko kikilen biik kabet berini. But kingo the first year, second year, kogere biik the changes. Nguni atinye factory nyu nebo kawek, nenema atech nguni factory nebo cassava. Tindo it's a countrywide because we will be kindai 43,000 acres chekimanginde cassava apart from kotomangebe temi. Yes. In employment, kya almost 2 years. Amu kasarta neki kakonge baki payment neki karan neki bo kawe. So kuketinye kawek tuten. Kokina compare rabinik chekonon en kasit ak rabinik che komomi kinge kebutishe kebute kawek. Kokechang kosir chanyoru en employment. Ara ager why tosomen chito ako atinye akod industry ne kotoyoche wa telelchi korib. Yes. So right now mechanic nguna komo akure chito for servicing or nyotorta. Right now I'm using it to advance myself in industry na mite.
Kainenyu ko kikurenon Wesley Arap Tonu. Ako atinye farm nekikuren Beu Mbilu. Minutik chekimine ketinye kikitaunen cassava ana mogo en kutitab ka ako kimine en komostab Western ana Siaya. So kitinye kora kimine cassava, kimine bandek ak kemine in cashew nuts. Siami urani ko in kanyone amun ka expo nemiten en betutab rani conference neko prepareni biikab European Union ak biikab African NGO nebo nemiten netononchin ngalekab cassava in Africa. So kanyone kwanegen ine kokwaya research amache ketestai kemin cassava en Kenya. Rift Valley ngunon en gaa olin ko cassava ko makimine en olda tugul en ng'ung'unyat age tugul. Namege kou en koretab Baringo ko namege ak Baringo. En Kenya ko makimine en olda tugul. Lakini kimache kinet biik amun as a Kenyan koimu Kenya ko imuche imin en komosta age tugul. Makele amun ibo Rift Valley ko memine. Imuche imin en Kilifi, imuche imin en Tanzania, imuche imin en komostab Western. Amun ngiro en Western koibe 60%. Ko Coast koibe 30%. Komostab Eastern Province olimbo Ukambani koibe 10% en minutikab cassava. So alenjini chi tugul kityo koyai research inegen ak komin en ele nyolu koyai research ne nenyin inegen. Malasima kemin en gaa oli. Yes, kamwae kangomwa man kamwa kole nyolu keyai research komie kou ye kamwa PS Dr. Kibrono kole nyolu kemwochi biikab emoni amun minutikab cassava ko kotoketou mau minutik alak cheu bandek. So koyoche kinet biik komostab Kalro kelenji namege ak ng'ung'unyat neu nebo Kericho, nebo Baringo, nebo Uasin Gishu asimabit mchanganyiko. Yani ngiminen ndawendi amine en Siaya ko angen ale namege ak typeit ainon amun en cassava kotinye types tofauti maagenge. Research bandek ngunon chekimine en Uasin Gishu ko magerge ak chekimine en Bomet. So cassava ndio miten in cassava kotinye faida neo kabisa ne marahisi kogerge ak alak amun kiboisien en komoswek cheterterchin en emoni. Kiboisien en ngalekab starch, kiboisien en ngalekab kerichek, kiboisien en ngalekab glue, kiboisien en kimuche keng'ol ak bandek age kobit ketaune keboisien en unga. So amwaun alenjin cassava ko cold magerga minutik chon alak. Tinye faida nekaran. Cassava ko matinye challenges cheu chombo minutik alak cheu viazi miten ngunon kikure drought resistant en kutitab Kiingereza, yani mawesoni, moche beek kidogo, mau chaik anan ko viazi, yani moche ropta kidogo. That is why kimine en Ukambani. En nguni kechopchinigei kemin en Ukambani olimbo Kibwezi ak keminen Siaya eleo mat ele lalang, momoche ropta ne, so matinye challenges ako muche kobur en imbar kasarta nekoi. Muche ko imin kongeten arawet netai akotar arawek 9 kokakorurio kait kekes, ak imuche imente kora kobur akoi ara kenyit agenge ak arawek ot 5 komebolu en imbar, matwou. I-harvesten yani faida netinye cassava ko makioldo tubers icheken, kioldo kila kitu, yani ioldoi stem ko choto ko seeds. Cassava is the only plant ne matinye tenderek, yani ingikes imine stem ibolu ialde, so ko matinye magerge ak chunigo. I-harvesteni kotiengei market netinye ngunon, manyalu i-harvesten cassava kotinye to risk. Within 48 hours kokekes koyoche kokaiturnen into a different product. Moyoche ikes ak inde store. Ikese ak iturnen into a different product, either ichipen kebal ak ketilatil ak kedraen. Komiten in teknolojia chekiboisien kedraen, so yoche isib yoto. That is why kakimiu kebwone kelele sikekas en ng'amotik chekikoyai kou bichumbo Tanzania, chebo Angola ak chebo West Africa, amun sikotoretech koron iman kakemin ako kakorurio, koyoche kesib kenai kele kiandolendo ano value chain. Yeah. Imuche kotebi cassava en imbar akoi kenyisiek 2 komebolu, lakini ngunon ngipreserven kora within 48 hours ichu kakamwa ale yoche ingekes koyoche iturnen into a different product. Kotebie for 2 years en store, now komomi risk, imuche kobur, lakini ikese once, makikese keketyi mara mbili, ikese once akotwo. Lifespan inakaa for 9 months. Ibure tebje for 9 months. Kokakoit majority. I-harvesten ni once. Unapanda sasa namwau ne cassava koyoche yekaimin ikese ak imin ak iketyi kora, lakini ingen ile kerge ak viazi, variety nempya netai ko makerge ak namba 3, so yoche isib komie, imine ak imin komi kasarta fulani imete. Yes, po maana kora yoche iyai crop rotation. So en ane any en minutik chu kimine en olimbo Siaya ko kikitou en kenyini, ko kikiyai research echeken kotomo kotoi serikali bandab tai neuni, ko kikiyai research ak kemin 200, kitinye nguni ekarisiek 210 chemi mbar. che tayari nguni ko ekarishek 80. Alafu next year kenyit nenyone ketinye arawetab mut kekese alak. So en achek ko kokiyome ke formen kit nekile consistency ko yani availability nebo product in market every now and then. As memine ak itebile nanakany season. Cassava imuche imin kasarta tugul en kenyit. Matinye in wakati. En eka agenge ko kan iyai research ngunon sigere komwa ale bo maana in tuyoni ko sigenyoru olik koyob Kenya ak koyob bitonin. Amun ye kakebwan yeu yu ketuitosi ak biik tugul, kimuche ke-exporten ak kimuche kialden locally. So kan ikas en chito nekamwoe en yon ko takomi shida ng'alekab pricing. Mamiten policies cheribe a farmer kokakes. So en echek imuche nguni kekese en biik chekamwoe en yun kokese kong'eten tanishek 15 en ekarit, lakini target nenyon kemoche kekes 40 tons akoi 60 amun kitoretech biikab Kalro, kikirib komie, kikisib kit nekimwoe biikab Kalro. Kitinye market nebo nyamwochi biikab kutit alenji chomoche sikotoin temisietab cassava. Memuche demand nebo cassava en Kenya. Yekan ikas yukan ko kakon namba serikali kole kikese 1,000,000 tons. Lakini demand ko 3 million. Demand ko 3 million. Value addition ko moche investment nemi barak. Moche ngunon investment nebo machines chebunu China chebo starch. That is now adding value to form starch. Angen ale ongen ole kiboisien starch en chakula cheterterchin. Kiboisien kora en kerichek, agrochemicals. Ak keboisien en glue. Ak keboisien en textile neu nombo Rivertex en Eldoret. Komi ngoroik chekiboisien kiboisien glue. So value addition nebo cassava ko kamwa ale glue. Kichoben glue. Ngap ibeale kityo glue lakini mengen ile products nekichoben ko ne. Kichoben starch. Starch keboisien en food industries. Kou KCC keboisien kechoben mala. Asikorurio mala within a very short time. Starch. Aya kiboisien kora en pharmaceuticals. That is now value addition of cassava. Kiboisien en kerichek. Ngeame kerichot ko that is the borderline nebo kerichek ko cassava. Kiachutyi kabatisiet nebo cassava amun manyolu keyai etkai tugul ko manyolu kebe lainit agenge. Nyolu keyai chekikuren diversification. Ngunon kasarta nekokibunu oin ko komakomi bandek amun komi boriet nekomi Ukraine. Ketegemeanen bandek chekibuten emoni komo sustainenech to the next season. So ko ne ara yon mamiten bandek ko ne neome biik. So ngunon ko cassava ko kokibwat kele kemin ak keyai kora research acheket kele en serikalitab President William Ruto noton kora kit nebo maana. Koko miten a policy nemiten nguni parliament nebo blending of the grains. Ngiimporten grains from outside koyoche kinde 10%. A proposal nemiten tomo kisirto laini en tai yon aroek oeng kisirto. Ngeng'oe bandek ketesto cassava 10%. Ngeng'oe unga ngano ketesto sorghum 10%. Ngeng'oe chono shelves tugul chekindo supermarket keteshin 10% of about 4 products: cassava, sorghum, millets ak cashew nuts.
Mwezi huu wa Mei, changamka na StarTimes. Tunaleta joto na channels mpya na shows mpya kwa ajili yako. Chagua bouquet yako na uwe connected. Enjoy magic na adventure zaidi kwenye Kili Channel.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Ni sherehe zaidi kwa wapenzi wa sporti, wrestling, basketball na football.
A goal to send a message.
Lipia subscription yako uwe connected. Guswa hisia na drama na telenovela freshi, movie kali, documentaries, mziki na lifestyle channel. Changamka na StarTimes.
Let's get ready to
download StarTimes on app kwa burudani kemkem wakati wowote popote ulipo. StarTimes, furahia maisha kidijitali.
So my name is Carolina Lango from Dash Crop Limited. Dash Crop Limited is a female-owned and female-managed company that specializing in making gluten-free wholemeal flours, which have been made exclusively from climate-resilient crops such as amaranth, cassava, finger millet, and also sorghum. One of the things that we realize is that no matter how much we want to deal with food insecurity, we will never outgrow Mexico and Brazil in maize, or outgrow Russia and Ukraine in doing wheat. So we decided to look for a local solution that is wholemeal, natural and affordable, most of the best of the pyramid customer. Hence the reason why we came with Dash Foods. One of the things which is very unique about Dash Crop Limited is that we buy directly from the smallholder farmers. 60% of our 12,000 farmers are women. Reason being that we chose value chains which are female inclined or female oriented, and we realize that whenever you empower a woman, you empower the community, and a lot of the decisions that are made at the household level are made by women. So I would say that so far we have created over 400 net equivalent jobs every season. We have made sure that for each of these 60% women out of the 12,000, their lives have been transformed in a very unique way. They are able to make socio-economic decisions. They've been able to take their children to school. They are been able to afford better housing, and also nutritional. They are able to feed them families. So the benefits go beyond what we can say on a day-to-day basis. Yes, I think that is very possible. I know that in the year 2022 we came up with a draft bill on blended flours, and I wish the bill would have focused majorly on traditional flours. So far the government is giving 10% blending of cassava with wheat and maize, which most Kenyans consume, but at the same time standards have been developed for other flours that have cassava, basically the composite flours. So I would say yes, this is possible. We only need to create awareness, and we also need to make sure that the products that we make are palatable, most of the Gen Z. Because these are guys that want something that they can eat, that is tasty, and also it does not take them a lot of time to do. So I think we are headed in the right direction.
So where can consumers find your product?
I sell online. I'm also available in a number of supermarkets. In Nairobi, just walk to any Chandarana branch. You'll be able to get us in their health section. And also a host of other tier 3 and 4 supermarkets countrywide, over 600 of them. But more so, you just go to our website, www.dashcrop.co.ke. Once you do an order, it will automatically come to our WhatsApp page, and we respond within 24 hours. We also have a delivery company called Offshore within Nairobi that delivers immediately to our customers countrywide.
My name is Charles Kibiru from Iconic Agricultural Machinery. We are here to educate farmers on how to mechanize their cassava processing. We have processes that will include from weeding, from planting, then we go to weeding. You know, cassava is grown in dry areas, and these are areas prone to have very intense sunshine. So basically we need to educate how farmers can save time on weeding. Then we also mechanize them on how they are going to save time on harvesting. Then after we are done with harvesting, we will come in with the machineries where we are going to do chipping we chip them so that we can have quick drying. Once we are done with drying, that quick drying, we go now for another process of crushing or extracting protein. So basically, we are here to make sure we educate our farmers, we show them how this is done, we give them some information on where and how they can go about all these, just to ensure that we get a food secure country. When we talk of employing technology, there is no way farmers are going to get different results if they are going to continue doing what our grandfathers were doing 20 or 50 years back. They have to employ technology. They have to ensure they have the right machineries to check and see what is happening across the world, just to make sure we are at par with technology, and that will make us save on time, and you can do so much with that time instead of just tilling land the old way.
Mwezi huu wa Mei, changamka na StarTimes. Tunaleta joto na channels mpya na shows mpya kwa ajili yako. Chagua bouquet yako na uwe connected. Enjoy Magic na adventure zaidi kwenye Kili Channel.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome!
Ni sherehe zaidi kwa wapenzi wa spoti, wrestling, basketball na football.
A goal to send a message!
Lipia subscription yako uwe connected. Guswa hisia na drama na telenovela freshi, movie kali, documentaries, mziki na lifestyle channel. Changamka na StarTimes.
Let's get ready to...
Download StarTimes on app kwa burudani kemkem wakati wowote popote ulipo. StarTimes, furahia maisha kidijitali.
Nyorun ketesiet nebo Kass FM International ak igerchigei kibindishek che kororonen mising betushek tugul saishek 24 kobun oretab musoknotetab kasari anan online app. Inyoru kora boroindo nebo inyorchigei logoiywekab emet ku kit neu koboto programs cheterter chebo radio ak television nebo Kass TV. Nam simeng'ung en nguni ak i-downloaden Kass FM International app in Play Store.
Then I talked something a little about cassava value chain, then the importance of quality seed, characteristics of cassava seed system, then the challenges facing cassava seed system, conclusion and acknowledgement. I think everybody knows what when you talk of value chain, but in simple terms, it is all those processes that are involved in right from conception to product development, consumption, and disposal. So I've just highlighted a few elements of cassava seed system, but all seed systems depend on the end use. So I will not talk about the whole issue of cassava seed system, but I'll emphasize on the seed, which comes into under inputs and supply in the cassava production value chain. So cassava value chain, as everybody has talked, cassava is produced in a wide agroecological zone with so many uses. So as wide as it is, you also have wide different value chains. But all in all, what is important is within all those value chains, seed system is an important integral part, whichever is it for brewing, for fresh market, and so on. So, seed system is important, and it has been observed that it is one of the major challenges, a bottleneck within the cassava value chain. When you talk to most farmers, they will tell you, yes, we have planted once and improved cassava variety. It was very good, but we don't have seed to continue planting. So it means access to those seed of good varieties remains a challenge. And why do we need good quality seed? We need good quality seed because it is only if we have good quality seed that we have improved yields. It is only when we have good quality seed that productivity and profitability of the value chain will go up. Then it is through good seed that we avoid the issues of disease and pest spread. Then improved seed quality also increases food and other products. And then once you have good quality seed, we'll attract investment, even into the seed system itself. Now, when we talk of cassava seed system, what exactly does it involve? I think we all know when we talk of a system, it means we have different players who have a role that is linked. We have with specialized functions. So within a cassava seed system, we have three major pillars. We have a pillar on variety improvement. We need to develop varieties, we test and release and promote them to farmers. Then we need to do the variety production, that is seed production itself. Then we need to do the seed distribution, that is packaging, transportation, and to make sure it reaches the end users who are the farmers. So those are just, we have a variety development, NPT, seed production, then transportation. But do we just need a seed system? We need a seed, my colleague said, yes, had stages under GLSI, under what, which means they collapse over time, isn't it? So what we need is a sustainable seed system, a seed system that will continue even after the donors left. So what do we need to have a good sustainable seed system? It should be a seed system that produces high quality seed. That is one requirement, but of a wide range of varieties, so that a farmer who wants to go do starch can get varieties for starch. A farmer who wants to do fresh market can get varieties for that. Then the seed system should also be able to provide seed timely. When the farmer wants the seed, can access. Then all in all, the seed should be affordable to the farmer. Then in that case, if you meet all those, then your seed system will be self-sustainable. So what are the challenges facing cassava seed? Yet we have said cassava is a hard crop and so on. What is it that we have a challenge? One of it is we don't have enough improved varieties, especially to meet different market demands. My colleague on varieties will discuss this. We want varieties that can meet different markets. If it is fresh market, if it is starch and so on. So that is one thing that makes cassava, which is low profitability now, given that it is, although we don't need to say poor man's crop, now that it's considered as poor man's crop, the profitability is low. We need to increase that. Then we have challenges related to variety development. The breeding challenges. Some of them based on the cassava biology itself. It takes too long, low multiplicator rate. So breeding to get what we call genetic gain takes long. Then we also have very little attention or interest in the cassava given the donors and even research. And all in all, unlike other crops, cassava has not benefited much on the current contemporary technologies in breeding crop improvement because of those small challenges. The other challenge which has been talked about is the nature of propagation under which cassava is done. That is through cuttings. They mentioned issues to do with bulkiness. It requires a lot of space, expensive to transport, short shelf life. So even in West, you have to produce when you know exactly the next stage is just planting. You can't store in an agro-wheat. So those are challenges. Then with this also comes the issue of recycling. And recycling means you don't go back to buy seed, and investor in the seed wants to sell. Then also the issue of as you recycle, they spread diseases and pests. Then the fourth challenge is policies and regulations. I think we have talked about the lack of policies, poor policies in variety release, seed production, promotion of cassava utilization. Those are the challenges we face. Then finally, cassava is grown currently in Kenya mainly for subsistence. So we have low commercial value. And this attracts little attention. So we have very few private sector interested in going into cassava seed system because they will not have market for the seed. So in conclusion, cassava system is an important integral part of a value chain, and therefore the system requires very good collaboration. Thank this conference, which has brought together many players. You need to see your niche within the seed system and see your collaborators, and from here you can have a system that is working. Then all the parameters in this system that I mentioned need to be well managed in a way that they ensure sustainability.
Which is the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, we offer technical support to the cassava seed system program that we currently run with the collaborators I have mentioned. The previous speaker talked about the challenges cassava has, rather the seed system, and the disease pressure that exists with the CBSD and CMD. So breeders have worked and improved varieties, and actually looking forward to the release in Kenya as well. They have gone through the multi-locational trials and down to the national performance trials, and probably later in the year, not to be quoted, they will be released. So IITA has facilitated the transfer of this technology to Calro, and we have conducted trainings with them, and we have actually worked hand in hand with them, not just trained them and left them. So we actually hold their hand as we move. So the initial tissue culture material, or rather the starting material, we use either virus-free material from tissue culture or the single nodes that come from a clean field. So CAFIS does the work for us to actually index and make sure that whatever material that we are setting up in the lab and you're going to multiply is actually free of virus. So there is this series of varieties called the KBH series. These are actually just going on multi-locational trials in different agroecological zones. And this will be on farm and on station. So we are looking at Kisumu, Kakamega, Homa Bay, and Migori, and parts of the coast, maybe Taita Taveta. TZ130 and Mkumba, as I talked about in the previous slide, have gone through the NPT and will be soon released. So we also have the MM series and the MH series, which have been recommended because they have low disease pressure in the western areas of Kenya. One thing that is important for us to understand is that the multi-location trials and the national performance trials are very important so that we are able to know what varieties do well in what areas, because a variety that does well in the coast will not necessarily do well in Kisumu. So yeah, the trials have been done on very selected farms, and what we see there is actually a box of the semi-autotropic hydroponic technology in the lab, showing the cassava as they grow. And we actually do data analysis at IITA so that farmers actually, rather we get to understand farmer preferred cultivars and what exactly they like in different locations. Because you go to Kisumu, they will tell you, oh, this is the one you like. You take the same to Coast, the farmers are like, no, this is not for us. We are also working with SMEs and the cassava seed entrepreneurs and different farmer groups. And the way this system is set up is that once we are done setting this up in the lab, and this system is actually quite an exponential system of multiplication, because in about 2 to 3 weeks, you are actually cutting back the cassava and creating new. So if you started with, let's say, 5 plants in an SAH box, in about 2 to 3 weeks, you are looking at between 8 to 10 plants of cassava. And that goes exponentially over every 2 to 3 weeks. So once this is set up and the rapid system, the varieties are actually rapidly multiplied in the lab, we are looking to send them down. Once the national release of the varieties TZ130, Kumba, and Orera are done, we send this down to the cassava seed entrepreneurs, and they will do the bulking. Once they do the bulking, then this will now go down, will trickle down to the farmers. So we will not directly give the SAH boxes to the farmers because it's a little bit technical to handle from this level. So for 2024, the priority is for the KBH series 2016B, 316, 504, and 521, and Kiroba. And yet again, Tanzania is ahead of us with this. They have already released Kiroba, and for the coastal region, and they are also taking 3 other varieties to their NPT later this year. On the technology transfer, IITA has been doing the technical backstopping, like I mentioned, working with Calro, and also indirectly working with farmers on the good agronomic practices. When we set up the fields, or even when this goes down to the cassava seed entrepreneurs, because in the lab, whatever we are multiplying, and we do this either in the lab or in the screen houses, what other people will call the greenhouses. Whatever we are multiplying, we are very sure, because they have been screened and tested, that they are free of the 2 major viruses, CBSV and CMV. When we set them to the cassava seed entrepreneurs, we actually make sure that they also follow the good agronomic practices and plant this in isolated areas with very set standard procedures, so that whatever eventually goes down to the farmer is still clean as expected. And also one other thing important to notice is that we will not just provide clean varieties, but we are looking at varieties that are a bit tolerant to these diseases, so that not that you get clean varieties and still they go and succumb to the disease. So the varieties that we are setting to release are actually improved varieties with tolerance to these diseases. So the plantlets are established in the screen house and the fields, and the regular multiplication of the pre-basic cuttings will still continue even in the screen house. Then the beautiful thing about this whole setup that is there's a business development service provision. So you are not just left to deal with yourself. And the beauty also of this conference is that you actually get to interact with people across the value chain, and we're able to see how we actually can help each other.
Okay, I'm Dr. Morag Ferguson. I work with the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, based here in Nairobi. I'm a cassava scientist. I've been a cassava scientist for over 20 years and been involved with breeding some of these new varieties. Now, as we see, and as Peter's been talking about, the yields are quite low in Kenya compared to some other regions. Actually, generally in Africa, we see that our yields are about 10 tons per hectare, whereas if you look at Asia, they're getting 23 tons per hectare. And the new varieties that we have can produce up to 40 tons per hectare. So we really need to now strive to get that 40 tons per hectare at the farm level. There's a number of things that we can do. One of the main constraints to cassava is virus diseases. And there are two main virus diseases, cassava mosaic disease and cassava brown streak disease. And some of the traditional varieties that farmers grow are quite susceptible to these virus diseases. And they can impact yield tremendously. So they can reduce the yield by 70%, even 100% with severely infected plants. So one thing we really need to do is try and get farmers to access clean seed. So by clean seed, we mean virus-free cuttings, planting materials. In the case of cassava, we don't mean like maize seed or bean seed, we mean the cuttings. So one thing we're doing is working with Calro in Kakamega, in Njoro, in Matwapa, to develop technologies to rapidly multiply clean planting material and virus-free material. Then we're also working with SMEs in 4 counties in Western Kenya to help get these new varieties and the clean germplasm out to farmers as quickly as we can. We also need to improve some agronomy practices. Often farmers will just grow cassava with absolutely no inputs. But a little bit of organic matter and a little bit of fertilizer can actually help the yields. So we're working on one technology which is called semi-autotrophic hydroponics, in which we multiply cassava plantlets in like plastic boxes, and you know, if you multiply cassava just in the field, in 1 year you can move from 1 plant to 8 plants. By using this new technology, we can move from 1 plant to about 300,000 plants in 1 year. So it's a very useful new technology. So we're hoping that with these interventions and working with Self-Help Africa, with Calro, and also with Kefis, who are the regulators of plant health in Kenya, that we can really improve the yields, so we produce more cassava off the same acreage of land, that will really be able to boost supply for the industry.
Any questions for us?
Crops, but it used to be a poor man crops, but the profile of cassava has been transitioned from a poor man crops to important crop in food security, but also now cassava is a source of income, as we had my mama from Busia saying that cassava is a very important component in bringing money in the pocket, and people now can pay school fees, build good houses using cassava. Use the income from cassava. I will categorize the challenge of cassava in the challenge of cassava seed system in 2. First, with the nature of the cassava crop. As we all know that cassava is vegetatively propagative crop, so farmer take a cutting to grow another cassava crop. So if one is infected, then the new crop also will be infected. And also cassava seeds has limited shelf life. With the cutting, you can keep them for 4 or 5 days, and then they lose their viability. But with the stems, they can stay for 2 or 3 weeks, and also start losing the viability, depending on how you will keep the stems. It's bulk, hence it's very difficult to transport cassava seeds, but also you can damage cassava seeds during transportation. You can destroy the nodes and make cassava seeds to lose its viability. The multiplication ratio for cassava is very low comparing with cereals. When you plant 1 cutting, you can hardly get 8 to 10 crops, but with maize, 1 seed can give you up to 300 seeds. The other big challenge is on the diseases, pest and diseases, especially the cassava seed brown streak and cassava mosaic disease, which when they enter into your field, they can cause yield loss of